Hello, I'm Sally from Natural Spa Supplies. Lately I've been asked two questions repeatedly. Which is the best sea sponge for face care and which is the best sea sponge for natural showering and bathing? This is a giant honeycomb. Perhaps we won't be using this one for the face care, but I can show you all the different types and you'll soon have a very clear idea of which ones you need to choose. I've got a selection of sponges here. They all come from Greece. They're all harvested the traditional way where divers dive for them, cut the body of the sponge off, leave the foot behind, and then the foot reforms into a new sponge. So all these sponges are still out there growing. So I've got the main different types here. This is called an elephant ear sponge. Well, I think you can guess why. It's kind of like an elephant ear. These are the honeycombs. Of course, this is a more modest size honeycomb. And you can actually understand why it's called a honeycomb because of the structure there. This is called a sea wool, and it's because it actually feels like sheep fleece. It's a very, very soft sponge. This one's called a hardhead. They are quite squashy, but they're called a hardhead for some reason. This one's called a macho fina. It's quite a bit more dense and kind of a very regular structure throughout. This one's called a silk fina. We're going to focus on these two types of sponges, honeycomb and the silk fina. So honeycomb sponge, here's the honeycomb-like structure, and silk fina. Now let's see what happens when we get these two wet. So you can appreciate now how the surface has changed and how well a sponge could clean the body. And it will actually dry quickly as well. This is the silk fina sponge, and again, can you see the surface structure? It's like all these little tiny sort of fingers or hairs. When you clean the face with this, they will actually reach inside the pores, and they do an absolutely fantastic job. It feels like you're washing with the foam of the sea. They're just astonishing. And of course you'll know that children and babies love sponges, and so do your menfolk. They need a 6-inch honeycomb. They really do. So for natural face care, besides using a sponge, you can also use the clay. It's the most fantastic face wash because it actually detoxes the skin at the same time. It does more than just clean the skin. And you can use the clay over the entire face. In fact, we use it over the entire body. I even wash my hair in it. So you can use it to clean the face. You can use it as a makeup remover. But you might find something like a 2-inch sponge better for sort of cleaning the face, or applying toner, or using witch hazel. And some people want the little 1-inch sponges for applying makeup or cleaning the eye area and that kind of thing. The other thing that I do use every few days is the hemp oil soap. And again, soaps work really well with sponges. The hemp oil soap sort of gets rid of the deeper grease, takes the dead skin off, and really kind of freshens the face. And when you use the hemp soap on the body, it instantly kind of deodorizes under the arms. But really, once you start using sponges, you'll never ever go back to sort of cotton wool and flannels, and because you'll appreciate, even from the first use, just how well they clean and actually how pleasant they are to use. So a sponge will hold an incredible amount of liquid. So this sponge is just happily sitting on my hand. I wait for me to squeeze it. There's a lot of liquid in there. So it's great if you're applying sort of a liquid substance to the body. For example, I use seaweed as a hair conditioner, and I can control and apply the seaweeds perfectly with a sponge. They're great if you're a soap lover and you love all the foam and the bubbles, then this is the best kind of bubble making sponge you could acquire. So remember, 4.5 inch sponge, 3 inch, 4 inch, fantastic just for kind of washing the face. A 2 inch sponge you might prefer around the eye area or the nose or whatever. And then a 1 inch sponge is particularly good for sort of washing the delicate eye area. So thank you very much for watching. You'll find all the information about sponges on our website, and that's naturalspasupplies.co.uk. We've got photos of all different types and descriptions and all the sizes. But if you still have any questions, just give us a call, and that's 0800 023 5008. And thank you very much for watching.